Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to Daz Reacts, and today I am reacting to another George Carlin video, and I've only watched a couple of him so far, but I really like him as a comic. And it's not just as a comic, he says things how it is, and for what he says makes a lot of sense, and it rings true in a lot of situations. And I've had a lot of good reactions to the George Carlin reaction videos that I've done, and I've also got a long list of George Carlin videos to react to now, thanks to a couple of my subscribers who have been very, very helpful. I'm planning on doing a compilation video soon of his audio only stuff, so if people want to see me react to that, there's not going to be any video or anything to it. It's just going to be the audio stuff, so it'll just be looking at this ugly mug basically while listening to it. So I hope that's not such a bad thing, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this is Dumb Americans and Life is Worth Losing from George Carlin. I hope you enjoy it. If there's anything else you want me to react to, let me know in the comments down below. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button just to help the channel out a bit. But let's get into this. I'm looking forward to it.
Say what you want about America, land of the free, home of the brave. We got some dumbass motherfuckers floating around this country. Dumbass motherfuckers.
This was only a few years before he died.
Now, obviously, that doesn't include this audience. I understand that. You seem intelligent and perceptive, but the rest of them, holy jumping fucking shitballs. Dumber than a second coat of paint. And this ain't just ranting and raving. This ain't just blowing off steam. I got a little evidence to support my claim. It just seems to me, that only a really low IQ population could have taken this beautiful continent, this magnificent American landscape that we inherited. Well, actually, we stole it from the Mexicans and Indians, but hey, it was nice when we stole it. It looked pretty good. It was pristine. Paradise. Have you seen it lately? Have you taken a good look at it lately? It's fucking embarrassing. Only a nation of unenlightened half-wits could have taken this beautiful place and turned it into what it is today, a shopping mall. A big fucking shopping mall.
Basically, yeah.
You know that?
That's a lot of the world. That's not just America.
That's all you got. That's all you've got here, folks. Mile after mile of mall after mall. Many, many malls. Major malls and mini malls. They put the mini malls in between the major malls. And in between the mini malls, they put the mini marts. And in between the mini marts, you got the car lots, gas stations, muffler shops, laundromats, cheap hotels, fast food joints, strip clubs, and dirty bookstores. America the Beautiful. One big transcontinental commercial cesspool. And how do the people feel about all this? How do the people feel about living in a coast-to-coast shopping mall? Well, they think it's just fucking dandy. They think it is cool as can be because Americans love the mall. They love the mall. That's where they get to satisfy their two most prominent addictions at the same time: shopping and eating. Millions of semi-conscious Americans, day after day, shuffling through the malls, shopping and eating, especially eating. Americans love to eat. They are fatally attracted to the slow death of fast food. Hot dogs, corn dogs, triple bacon cheeseburgers, deep fried butter dipped in pork fat and cheese whiz, mayonnaise soaked barbecued mozzarella patty melts. Americans will eat anything, anything, anything. If you were selling sauteed raccoons' assholes on a stick, Americans would buy them and eat them.
Do you know, I'm not going to lie, I'd probably do well in America because I'm a foodie. I can't help it. That it's not just the fast food that appeals to me. It's any kind of food that I have a passion for food. I have a passion for eating, and it is the case that like I'm fussy when it comes to eating. That like I very rarely eat at other people's houses. That if I've not cooked it myself, or if it's not in a restaurant and things like that, then I can get quite funny of where I eat. But I do. I love eating new things. I love trying new things, and that probably not a raccoon's arsehole. That's probably a little bit of a stretch. Many moons ago, I did actually eat, what was it, cow's stomach. That it was chewy. That it was alright. Yeah, it was fine. But yeah, that it is the case, and London is the same as well. London is the same. That we don't really have malls here. We have shopping centres, and like there's not as many as probably in America, but we have so much commercial here that. And it is the case. And I lived in Finland. I lived in Finland for a few years, and it was the case there that like you could walk for an hour without seeing a single person or a shop or anything. That, and this was in one of the main cities that like not so much Helsinki, but like away from that, Vantaa and Espoo and around there, you could walk for half hour, 45 minutes without seeing a single person or a single shop or anything. That, let alone like shop after shop after shop after shop and car and person. And I live in East London now, and it is always busy from the time you open your eyes in the morning to the time you go to sleep. There's always noise, it's always busy, and it don't bother me. I'm used to it. This is how I grew up, this is my life, it's always been my life. And for me it was weirder when I was in Finland and it was so quiet. But yeah, I understand where he's coming from here. That I only paused it to sound like food.
Especially if you dipped them in butter and put a little salsa on them. This country is big time, pig time. Forget the bald eagle. You know what the national emblem of this country ought to be? A big bowl of macaroni and cheese. A big bowl, because everything in this country is king size. King size, extra large, and super jumbo. Especially the fucking people. Have you seen some of the people in this country? Have you taken a good look at some of these big fat motherfuckers walking around? Big fat motherfuckers. Oh my God. Huge piles of redundant protoplasm lumbering through the malls like a fleet of interstate buses. The people in this country are immense. Massive bellies, monstrous thighs, and big fat fucking asses. And if you stand there for a minute and you look at one of them, you begin to wonder, how does this woman take a shit? How does she shit? And even more frightening, how does she wipe her ass? Can she even locate her asshole? She must require assistance.
Do you know what? I'm not going to lie. My wife watches a program from the US. It's called My £600 Life. And it's about a load of like ultra obese people that they end up traveling to Texas to like go through like a big weight loss scheme before they can have weight loss surgery and things like that. And it amazes me how people can get that big. And the stories are always the same. It comes from my childhood. I was abused, and like this is how I grew up, and it was my parents' fault. And it's not. It's just a case that you get this passion for food, and you don't have a passion for like burning off what you eat. Basically, that. There's millions and millions of people out there that go through bad childhoods. There's millions and millions of people out there that go through abuse and so much different shit that, like, there's no excuse for getting that big and letting yourself get that big. And like, even down to the food that they eat, like they go and see this doctor now, and he says like you can have this much food a day, and like the portions that they still bring themselves is like my whole day's worth of food in like one meal. And the reason why I said this is because me and the wife went to Malta, which is a country in Europe, and we got to the hotel, and my wife saw a big woman, and even her, she was like, "Oh look, I've seen my first one." From like my £600 life, like I've seen my first one. There's no excuse for it, like to be that big, and I don't know how they can live their life being that big. Most of them, in all fairness, don't really live their life. They have trouble getting out of bed, let alone getting to the doctors and things like that, or getting to the gym. But that's basically why I paused it, just to say that we see one.
Are paramedics trained in this field? And standing right next to her, of course, with a plate full of nachos and a mouthful of pie, is her clueless fucking husband, Joe Sixpack. With his monstrous swollen beer belly hanging dangerously out over his belt buckle. This guy ain't seen his dick since the Nixon administration. And if you stand there and you look at the two of them, you begin to wonder to yourself, do these people fuck? Is this man actually capable of fucking this woman?
Sorry, I don't understand it, but how? Like this £600 life one that I was telling you about, I've watched a couple of them where they ended up pregnant, and you think, how in the hell did you get pregnant with all of them rolls? How? It's either your husband is like a mile long, or you've got like clamps holding up the layers of fat. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how they do it. Seriously, I really don't.
It doesn't seem structurally possible that these two people could achieve penetration.
It doesn't.
Maybe
it really
they're
doesn't.
in that Cirque du Soleil or something. Telling you, the people in this country are every one of them is 50 pounds overweight. They are gargantuan. And in the summertime, God help us, In the summertime, they all want to wear short pants. Jesus, Lord, protector of all that is good and holy, deliver me from fat people in short pants. They all got short pants, big bellies, fat thighs, and dumb kids. Short pants, big bellies, fat thighs, and dumb kids. Every one of them's got 2 dumb-ass kids with them. And the whole family is wearing T-shirts, and every one of them's got the same T-shirt. I'm with stupid. Apparently in this country, the stupids are an extended family. And besides wearing them T-shirts, everyone in the family's got on a backpack. They got a backpack strapped to their back so they can carry around lots of stupid shit. And the reason they got to carry their stupid shit strapped to their backs is because their hands must remain free at all times to hold food. And to get that food up to the mouth where it gets shoveled in with all the rest of the disgusting shit they ate that day. And another reason for the backpacks is these people are going to buy even more stupid shit. They ain't got enough stupid shit at home. They just had a stupid shit sale. They ain't going to buy more. They're going to go out in the parking lot and stuff this stuff into the big, fat, ugly, oversized SUV that's got plenty of room in it. Plenty of room in it for stupid shit and lots of room left over for these big, fat, ugly motherfuckers to get them home. Stopping, of course, for jelly roll and fried dough. These people are efficient, professional, compulsive consumers. It's their civic duty, consumption. It's the new national pastime. Fuck baseball, it's consumption. The only true, lasting American value that's left, buying things. Buying things.
America's pastime. I watched a video a couple of weeks ago. You can't call baseball America's pastime no more because it's not. Baseball was actually, it was first rounders in the UK. You stole it from Britain. Can you believe it? That Britain actually invented America's pastime of baseball. I never knew that, honestly, never knew it at all. And baseball's not a big thing here, so you can have it.
People spending money they don't have on things they don't need. Money they don't have on things they don't need, so they can max out their credit cards and spend the rest of their lives paying 18% interest on something that costs $12.50. And they didn't like it when they got it home anyway. Not too bright, folks. Not too fucking bright. But if you talk to one of them about this, if you isolate one of them, you sit them down rationally, you talk to them about the low IQs and the dumb behavior and the bad decisions, right away they start talking about education. That's the big answer to everything. Education. They say we need more money for education. We need more books, more teachers, more classrooms, more schools. We need more testing for the kids. You say to them, well, you know, we've tried all of that, and the kids still can't pass the test. They say, oh, don't you worry about that. We're going to lower the passing grades. And that's what they do in a lot of these schools now. They lower the passing grades so more kids can pass. More kids pass, the school looks good, everybody's happy, the IQ of the country slips another 2 or 3 points, and pretty soon all you'll need to get into college is a fucking pencil. Got a pencil? Get the fuck in there, it's physics. Then everyone wonders why 17 other countries graduate more scientists than we do. Education. Politicians know that word. They use it on you. Politicians have traditionally hidden behind 3 things: the flag, the Bible, and children. No child left behind. No child left behind. Oh, really? Well, it wasn't long ago you were talking about giving kids a head start. Head start, left behind. Someone's losing fucking ground here. But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers, people who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back, so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later, because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. And by the way, it's the same big club they use to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all.
Do you know what? I'm not going to lie, and it is the case. I'm sorry, there's only like 30 seconds left, so I'll talk about it after.
Yeah. You know? And nobody seems to notice, nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on, the fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white, and blue dick that's being jammed up their assholes every day. Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.
You know what? Honestly, I'm not going to lie, and this is just my personal opinion. Other people's opinions may differ, but a few years ago in the UK we had Brexit. The population voted on whether to stay in Europe or to leave Europe and things like that. And I only voted because my wife was going around there to vote. She was like, "Come and vote. Everyone's voting this. Everyone's voting that." So I was like, "All right, I'll come and vote." And I voted to stay. And if the wife wasn't going around there to do it, I've apart from that, I've never voted in my life. I don't really give a shit who the Prime Minister is. I don't give a shit who's in Parliament. I don't care about anything. And like, even down to like the royal family and things like that, I couldn't give a crap about them really. The Queen died recently. It's a sad thing. She's been the Queen for so long. It's a sad moment. It's not. I'm not going to badmouth the Queen. That she's been in charge of this country for so long. But when it comes to like the Harry and Meghan stuff and things like that, that couldn't care less, could not give a flying fuck about any of it. Because the bottom line is that for me to vote, if I go and vote on the next PM, if I go and vote on Brexit and things like that, what difference is it going to make? What difference to the average person is it going to make whether we are in Europe or not? I'll tell you what it is. That for where I am, for where I live, Brexit means one thing, that we left the EU. So all that means for people where I live and where I am is that eventually it's going to be the case that when we go to Spain, we're going to have to pay for a visa. That's all it means. It means nothing else. That it makes no difference to the average person. And that's the thing, that even down to like who's going to be the next PM and everything like that, who's going to do this, makes absolutely no difference to anyone else apart from the bigger corporations and things like that. And the people come in and they say like the corporation taxes and everything, it makes the difference there. But for me, I don't even watch the news now, to be fair. That I don't watch none of it, because a lot of it, I'm not saying that it's hoaxed, but a lot of it probably is planned. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't sit here and think that, 9/11 and all of this and like the conspiracy theories behind it and like Elvis is alive, Tupac's alive and all of this. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't look at things like that. I look at things like in reality, that I like to put my effort into things where I can make a difference, not put my effort into things that are not going to affect me in any single way in life. But do you know what? I'm not going to lie. I'm rambling on, but I really do like watching George Carlin. And what annoys me, he died in 2008. So he died 14 years ago. Up until like a couple of weeks ago, I'd never even heard of this man. I'd never heard of him. I've reacted to like 3 or 4 of his videos now, and I have every single intention of reacting to every single one of his videos. Whether it's a stand-up video, whether it's the LP where it's audio only, I will react. I love listening to him talk, and you probably see that like towards the end of this, when he was talking about the owners of America, not your politicians and things like that, but the people that own America, the people that are at the top, the people that are making. I didn't want to pause it. I didn't want to. I didn't laugh. I didn't want to pause it. I didn't want to talk. I just wanted to listen. I get so engrossed in what he says, and like I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, do you know what? You're right. You're making a lot of points, and like I don't want to interrupt him. So I feel like this is a reaction video where. Like I can only really have one reaction. It comes to certain things. Like obviously, he was talking about like Americans being fat and eating a lot and being obese and buying dumb shit and things like that. That's the stand-up comedy side. That's the side where you're going to watch, you're going to laugh, you're going to stop, you're going to react, you're going to talk. But then he starts to talk about the serious stuff and the stuff that, like, in America, and I'm not even in America, I've never even been to America, but like he starts to talk about the serious stuff, about the corporations, about people hired in, like the government and the politicians and the presidents, and like when he gets to that is just the case that I get engrossed and I sit and I listen and I watch, and like I don't want to talk, I don't want to interrupt, I don't want to interrupt you probably sitting there watching and listening to this again, and you've already seen it before. So yeah, again, I'm rambling on. I enjoyed this, I really did. I'm not gonna lie, this is the longest video that I've done today, and I could have done it double over. I can sit and listen to this man talk all day long. So yeah, expect more George Carlin on the channel. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I will be uploading daily, and even if you just want to say hello, leave it in the comments down below, or if not, request something and I'll go on to watch it. But until the next video, take it easy.